low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day.
Hey guys, this is Just One Guy, and I'm back here with another update to Project Hermes. Now, in today's update, I was working on my click-to-move system, which is something you would see in something like Diablo for a PC or something like that. So I'm just going to give you an example on how it works. Now, most games are moving away from this style of system, and I can understand why, because it comes with a lot of drawbacks. And as I go over the system itself and show you all the features, I'm going to go over some of the drawbacks just to show you why most games move away from it. Now, the first is obviously the click to move. When I hit the left mouse key, the character will click to move, and if I hold it down, the character will just follow. But something that's not as obvious is the character is actually looking at the mouse. So if I go around like this, the character will actually look in the direction of the mouse. Now later on I will give a tutorial on how to do this, because it's simple and a bit complicated, because you have to translate the mouse's 2D position into a 3D position within the world. Now, one of the drawbacks is this interferes with rotating the camera, which is why in most top-down games they don't allow you to rotate the camera. Now, it's also because a lot of them have 2D backgrounds, but if they allowed you to rotate the camera, because most modern top-down games, action RPG games, are 3D, so they could easily allow you to rotate the camera, but that would interfere with the character rotation. And one of the problems is, say if the character is rotating at a different speed, as you can see here, than the camera, then that would make the character face a different position than when the character is rotating. It's not so much an issue in my game, because when the character is moving, I have him set to where he doesn't, you can't rotate it with the mouse. Now, another issue is, specifically in my game, I have the left mouse button set up to do the light attack and the right mouse button set up to do the heavy attack. Now, in other games where I allow rotation to the camera, I set the right mouse button to rotate the camera and the left mouse button to attack. I couldn't do that in this situation, so what I did was I just used the third mouse key, which is the scroll wheel. So when I hold down the scroll wheel, I can actually rotate the camera. This gives me a system where I can both move the character, attack, and rotate the camera, all with the mouse. Now, to solve the issue of the light and heavy attack, what I did was I actually took a solution from another game that recently came out. And what it is if I hit the right mouse button, the character will attack with the light attack. But if I hit the Z key, he'll switch it to a heavy attack. This gives the benefit of making the combat able to be more complex. So you have a little bit more complexity in combat that you would have in a normal action RPG game, well, in a normal action game, where you can have combos from hitting the light and heavy attack buttons. This preserves the combo system while allowing you to use a click-to-move system. I felt this was an elegant way of doing it, and I hit the wrong key. And overall, I'm really happy with this system. So as you can see here, it all basically works. Now, the last thing I did was I added a jumping system. I finally got this to work. This was a very complicated system to get working because of the way Unity's navigation system works. I don't believe they want you to do it this way, but my jump system is actually dynamic. So you can see the character can jump on anything, as long as it's below the jump height set in the script. And I'll go over that in a second, because as you can see here, if I click on here, the character will go to it, but he won't actually jump on top of it. Now, of course, my rotate to look at the mouse system is bare bones. The animation isn't correct, but it does functionally work the same way it would in any other action RPG game. So just to show you that the system for jumping is dynamic, I'm going to go and pause here, and we're going to go here. Now in Unity's normal system, when you have a NavMesh, let me see if I can find it. Here, I go to the navigation window, I can set it up to automatically generate the off-link meshes, mesh points, if I want to drop and if I want to move across it. Now the jump can only be set if the NavMesh heights are equal. So as you can see here, as you can see, it didn't set up one right here, even though the character should be able to jump across here. And I don't know why Unity has that restriction, but things have to be even if you want the character to jump across it automatically. So it also lets you set the drop height. I set it to 5. This is both a good and a bad thing. The good thing is it automatically sets these points up. The bad thing is it is static, so you can't change it. So if you wanted the character to be able to jump from a greater height, you wouldn't be able to do that. But as you can see, there's no way to automatically generate points for the character to jump on top of something. Unity does have a system for doing that, and that's the off-mesh link system and the off-mesh system. Now, the reason you wouldn't want to do that is because you would have to specifically place each one of these points that you want the character to be able to jump from here to here. That was the old way of doing it. The new way, Unity have off-mesh link points, which they're the same, except it covers a wider area, so you can just pull this all the way across and then jump up. That still has the drawback of you have to set up each one of those points individually. My system has of dynamically jumping has 3 benefits that system can't provide. The first one is you don't have to set anything up. I don't have to put any mesh points here, any off-link mesh points beforehand. So the character can jump on anything as long as the jump height is long enough. As long as the thing it's trying to jump to is lower than its jump height. The second point is, let me just go into this right here. And if I give a demonstration, the character can jump on top of here. But if I go here and try to jump on top of here, the player can't jump on top of it. This is the second advantage of the system, because if I wanted to change it, I don't have to set up a new static system. I can just change it in code. And you can see the character now can jump 6 meters high, so he can jump on top of that. It's working a little funny because the jump distance needs to be a little further. Let me just set that to 3. As you can see there, it looked a little better there. And as you can see, the NPC isn't following him because his jump height is still set to 2. He will try to go to the closest to the position that he can, but he can't jump up there. Now if I were to change that to 6.2, and you can see he jumped up there too. That's an advantage of a dynamic jump system, because as the character levels up, I can change their jump, how high they can jump. And I can do that dynamically from code, and I don't have to set up anything beforehand. And I have an AI that can go anywhere. Now I'll give a tutorial on how to do this later, but overall I'm really proud of the system and everything I've achieved with it. It still has some glitches and I gotta work everything out, but for the most part the AI is really maneuverable in what it can do. For example, let me just show here. Next I'm working on the climbing system. As you can see, it kind of works. Well, it does work functionally, but the animations need a lot of work. Now if I were to click all the way over here, the character knows to climb down those mesh points and then jump up here dynamically, all from one click. and that's something you couldn't achieve with Unity's standard navigation system, just because it's not really set up to do that. You can set it up to do that in a way, but never dynamically. You would have to set up all those points beforehand. In this system, all I had to do was set up the climb points beforehand. Everything else is automatically generated at runtime. So this means if I were to create this world through code, everything except, well, even those climb points would work because those are generated at runtime too, just in a different way. I had to place the game object, but the actual system is generated at runtime. So what would happen is if I generated this world, I could generate this entire world from the beginning of the code, and the character would be able to move through this world, NPC, even the climb points and the dynamic jumping. And he could change his jump pattern based on his level. Overall, I'm really happy with the system. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you for watching.